It's
The
not
only reason you want to be in Hollywood
at all,
now
though.
is for the parties, Joe. And nobody's going to those parties anymore.
No.
You gotta tell them no.
Yes.
Now, the question is,
How many of them are out there? And do you think that's a Hollywood thing?
I think that it's definitely more prevalent in Hollywood than in like Oklahoma.
What I'm hearing this morning is that we've gone from just shaking in the boots to sheer panic. As you said in your opening statements, Julie, the silence is deafening, especially from longtime associates of Diddy, such as J-Lo, who dated him for a very long time in the early 2000s, Usher, who was one of his proteges, along with Justin Bieber. These are people that had firsthand accounts and experiences with this man, and they are quiet. And the reason being is they don't know what part of their experiences are on those tapes that the FBI has and what they got during those raids.
What's going on, Jamie?
I don't know. There's a lot going on. A lot of rumors are flying.
The rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein type deal where he was filming everybody, right?
That's the rumors. Yeah, I don't know that there's any proof of anything.
Dude, when Homeland Security invades your house,
You got problems.
with dudes with guns and body armor.
Someone said that they weren't there to take stuff. They were there to delete everything. Like the real people that were in there, you know.
Oh,
Like
that's
the same
funny.
thing with Epstein.
Oh, that's funny.
We're hearing there's a victim as young as 9 years old.
9, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're talking about 25 people so far.
And some of these names that I guess will be coming out, who allegedly aided and abetted Diddy and his twisted little escapades, are these names that I would know, that people would recognize? How high is this going up?
Certainly names that you would recognize. And let's think about the kind of people that would be involved in this. People that would be in the room, that would be facilitating this, egging this kind of thing on, encouraging this, participating.
Diddy's celebrity accomplices are on the run, and we're now watching entire Hollywood scrambling and scraping to hide their connection to Diddy and his alleged crimes. And this is the exact scenario that Joe Rogan called out after Homeland Security raided Diddy's properties back in March. He said that when powerful people are finally cornered, their friends either vanish into thin air or pretend they never existed. And that's exactly what's happening right now. But now Joe is back at it again, and this time he's actually dropping names of Diddy's alleged enablers. And we're talking about some of the biggest names in the entertainment business. Major names that were once glued to Diddy's side are all of a sudden MIA. Ellen DeGeneres just moved to England with her wife. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis are also reportedly planning a big move. Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Usher are all quiet as a mouse. Naomi Campbell is now conveniently spending her time overseas. And Oprah is acting like she had no idea that the industry was full of predators, despite being BFFs with some of them for years. And don't forget Diddy's mentor and rumored ringleader. It looks like he suddenly developed amnesia and can't even remember knowing Diddy.
A lot of people are curious about the status of P. Diddy. P. Diddy. Diddy. What do you make of that situation? All right. No comment from.
The list of Diddy's friends who are suddenly acting clueless is getting longer by the day, and these people are now in full-on panic mode as Diddy's trial date approaches. But here's where it gets even darker. Many fans are now connecting the dots between Diddy's scandal and the Epstein case. Remember how Epstein's infamous client list never saw the light of day? Well, a lot of people are saying that the same thing will happen here because Diddy's power isn't just his own. It's tied to a web of elites who will do anything to protect themselves. And let's not forget, there are probably many names that are already slipping through the cracks. Reports claim some high-profile executives and celebrities tied to Diddy have already packed their bags and left the country. So will this be another case of justice getting buried under wealth and influence? Who are the people on Diddy's list that Joe Rogan named? Let's get into it.
P. Diddy thing sounds like just complete unchecked depravity. Like, I don't even think he was gay. He was just
But
maybe he's gay, but it seems like he's just
you have to be a
depraved.
little gay.
all of Diddy's former celebrity friends are either going radio silent or leaving the country one by one. And it looks like they're trying to distance themselves from the drama before Diddy's trial starts in May. Fans are also speculating that some of these big names might be on the alleged list of accomplices who aided or even participated in his crimes. Remember, that lawyer Tony Busby said a lot of the names on his alleged list are known to the public. And these individuals either witnessed or enabled Diddy's depraved crimes.
The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. It's a long list already. And of course, I already know who some of these individuals are, but because of the nature of this case, we're going to make damn sure that we're right before we do that. But the names that we're going to name, assuming that our investigators confirm and corroborate what we've been told, are names that will shock you.
Meanwhile, industry insiders like Joe Rogan have already started pointing fingers to Diddy's longtime celebrity friends who are now panicking over rumors their names might be dragged into these horrific allegations. One of the first people Joe called out was J-Lo, and during his interview with Elon Musk, they both slammed J-Lo for staying silent all these years and not warning other victims. In J-Lo's case, it's not just that she kept quiet, she's actually stayed pretty close to Diddy even after they broke up. During the COVID-19 lockdown, the two of them hopped on Instagram Live together for a dance session. And even though J-Lo was with Alex Rodriguez at the time, she couldn't help but get a little flirty with Diddy during the stream. But that's not all. The Daily Mail recently dropped some exclusive photos showing Diddy and J-Lo in what looks like a heated argument at an after party on the same night Diddy's now accused of raping a 13-year-old. This went down after the 2000 MTV VMAs in NYC. And you can see J-Lo and Diddy in the middle of what seemed like a tense exchange. What's wild is that these photos are getting so much attention because they were taken on September 7, 2000, the same night Diddy allegedly attacked a young girl. And according to the lawsuit, there were two unnamed celebrities in the room when the incident happened. The lawsuit states that Diddy allegedly aggressively approached the girl with a crazed look in his eyes before victimizing her. And according to the filing, an unnamed male celebrity also raped the victim while Diddy and an unnamed female celebrity watched. Now let's be clear, there's nothing in the lawsuit suggesting the unnamed female celebrity involved was J-Lo. But that hasn't stopped fans from speculating that she must have known, or at least heard rumors about Diddy's disturbing behavior long before all this came to light. Also, if the lawsuit isn't hinting at J-Lo, you'd think she'd be quick to shut down any connection, right? Maybe even make a statement denying any knowledge of Diddy's alleged crimes, but so far, she stayed completely silent.
Hold it, guys, hold it, guys, hold it, guys. Hold it, guys, open it up, guys. Don't leave. The sign, don't leave. You guys get out of control.
Do you have any comments about P. Diddy and the allegations?
Go back up, look, don't lean, don't lean. The sign, don't lean. Ignite your sign.
Okay, now let's move on to another alleged person of interest, Diddy's longtime friend, Ellen DeGeneres. Joe Rogan has been calling out Ellen on his podcast for years and warning people that she's hiding her true character and her alleged connections to the political elite.
It's so weird when you see, like, a lot of people saying that someone who seems so nice is not nice at all.
She doesn't seem nice, but that people have a very poor judge of character. She doesn't seem nice. It seems forced. She goes out there to the Charleston. She's got war criminals. Her and Bush are jumping around. I mean,
that's right. She was buddies with Bush. That was like
she's
one of the
a
first
CIA agent. Stephen Paddock. And do not ask me for sources, but Stephen Paddock.
Who's that?
He was the guy that shot up the Vegas concert. That was a very tragic thing. Listen to this. The only guy that saw Stephen Paddock alive, his name is Jesus Campos. He was a guard at Mandalay Bay. He got interviewed nowhere else. You know where he got interviewed in the beginning? Ellen.
Really?
Weird. And then they went on, if you could find that clip, they went on with a weird like diagram of how it happened, and Ellen's like showing the people how it happened. Not like an emotional, like, how are you feeling? How are you holding up? It was a weird diagram of like, and then he went to the left and to the right. It was very strange to look. What the hell's going on? This is a daytime show.
Which is the Paddock guy? There's two guys there?
The chubbier guy is the Jesus guy. And now Ellen is doing a thing of how the shooting happened.
Look how she's got like an antenna from someone's Buick that she's popped off and she's using it as a pointer.
But why the hell is this happening on like a daytime show where this is weird.
Where'd she get that pointer?
I don't know. She stole it off an intern's car.
Why wouldn't you just use your finger? Like, if that was you, if it was your show, the Tim Dillon show, wouldn't you just point?
Yeah, this is also a giant screen behind her, so they could have just put it on that screen.
So, but she's using this thing. I find it very strange. I don't know why.
Wait a minute, those aren't real palm trees?
No.
Yeah, it's not real. I know that street, though. I know that block in Beverly Hills that she used.
How weird is that?
I don't know why they're doing this on a daytime talk show.
Let's keep it running. Look at it. She's dressed like Colonel Sanders. Not Colonel Sanders. She's dressed like Sergeant Pepper.
This guy looks like a member of her staff.
What kind of outfit is she wearing?
I don't know. She wears those weird, like, militant, lesbian
that should tell you
uniform.
Something.
Yeah.
Like, that's an odd look with all those buttons. Like, why do you have so many wrist buttons?
It was given to her in Langley.
The only reason why you have that many wrist buttons if you're looking at clothesline somebody.
Yeah, look at her. Look at her. Everyone says she looks so friendly. She looks friendly.
She does look very military.
Yeah, she's a militant woman.
with a very expensive watch.
She
too.
dealt with a lot of discrimination when she came out. It was very sad, but then she joined the CIA.
Her house got broken into while she was at home.
Really?
Yeah. She got a dope place in Montecito.
And they broke in while she was there.
Yeah.
And those people are still being tortured to this day.
Probably.
And what do you know it? Just weeks after Diddy got arrested, news broke that Ellen and her wife Portia moved to rural England. And according to sources close to Ellen, she has no intention of ever returning to the U.S. Now, of course, Ellen told everyone she left the U.S. because Trump won the elections. But let's be real. No one's buying that. First of all, she's one of the richest people in the U.S. and she's not likely to be affected by Trump's presidency in the slightest. On top of that, if this was really the reason, she would have moved the first time Trump won in 2016. By the way, Elon Musk seemingly backed this theory that Ellen moved to the UK to escape the fallout from the Diddy case. And he reshared this post on X with a screenshot of Ellen's old birthday message to Diddy that read, "Happy birthday, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy Sean Combs, or as I call him, Cuddle McSnugglestuff. You don't need to know why." Yeah, we probably could imagine why. Anyway, let's move on to Jamie Foxx now, because Joe Rogan recently talked about that viral theory alleging that Jamie was poisoned by Diddy.
Is like, we're gonna find out. Yeah. Jamie Foxx just recently said that P. Diddy poisoned him.
Whoa!
And that's why he got that stroke.
I've heard that.
He talked about it on stage.
He said it?
He said it.
He got poisoned?
He said it.
He goes, I didn't have a heart attack because of the vaccine. It was Diddy shutting me up.
See if we can find that, because he said it on stage.
Diddy was poisoning people?
Bro,
Whoa.
I think there was some crazy...
Like Cosby, like drugs.
Wasn't even that big.
I think
it was to do it.
There's a bunch of people that got pneumonia, a bunch of convenient people that died of pneumonia.
Now, remember that Jamie used to talk about throwing parties with Diddy and even recording some of them back in the day. In fact, he even talked about it on Joe Rogan's podcast back in 2017.
I was throwing these parties at my crib, and I would always throw parties for like musical guys, you know. So I threw a party for Puff. Puff comes and big party. It's like 2,000. Puff is there, and it's all about him. And I'll never forget, he got mad at me a little bit because I would follow him, and I would actually follow him with a camera, because at that time Puff was the biggest guy in the world. You know, you couldn't even get in his parties. So the way I would get in his parties, I'd show up with a camera. Like, yo, Puff, you need to document this shit. And he turned around, "What's up, Playboy?" I said, "Yeah, let me get that, man. Ain't nobody getting this." And it wasn't back in the day with the camera phone. I had the big fucking Canon that you put on your shoulder and the light and the shit. I said, let me change the battery, let me get all this shit, right?
Now, to be clear, Jamie didn't publicly confirm that Diddy tried to poison him. This came from people who attended a recent live taping of his upcoming Netflix special. And they claimed they heard Jamie say Diddy was responsible for his 2023 hospitalization. However, Jamie still hasn't addressed all the allegations against his former friend Diddy, and now fans are speculating that maybe Jamie is more involved than we think. I mean, remember those rumors about Jamie throwing naked basketball games?
Naked basketball games. But since he's talking about it, I'm going to talk about it. Before I do, though, everything in this video is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. I have to say that. Also, I value my own life. I'm so serious when I say that. I value my own life, okay? Because Diddy likes to do it. So back in the 90s, my mom nicknamed Jamie Foxx. Like, if you take the O out of his name and replace it with a U, that's what she used to call him. But to his face, it's like a haha joke, because he used to bang so many guys and girls in Hollywood. And he used to have these things called butt naked basketball games, okay? He would invite over a lot of like Hollywood's elite to his house for a basketball game, but it was men only. And they would be like, "Oh, we're just gonna get naked and play basketball." It's like, "Oh, haha, let's get naked and play basketball together," which is weird. And this happened in the 90s. So a lot of your like favorite celebrities were there, including someone who may or may not been married to someone who was drinking that lemonade. If you want to know like who was probably at these games, just look at like who P. Diddy and Jamie Foxx have been hanging around for years, especially the super successful ones. Usher was definitely there. Justin Bieber tried to warn you guys about this. I'm inserting these for proof. So I was talking about this with my friend the other day, and they texted me and was like, "Weren't we just talking about this?" And I was like, "What?" Here's what the link said. But read what I said in response to that. Yeah. That's why I say I value my own life. Also, I feel like people are going to think that this is just about, like, black men. It's not. They were not discriminating. A lot of, like, famous white actors were there, too. And side note, I know men that have been invited to the parties that knew about this. Like, if people at the radio station knew, like, come on, you think everybody didn't know? And they wouldn't go because they were like, we're not down with that. That's, like, weird. And I just want to say, allegedly, totally allegedly, I hope that one day P. Diddy has his R. Kelly day. Because he has the longest rap sheet of anybody.
And then there was also that time when Jamie revealed that Nick Cannon was just 13 when he slept on his couch while he was throwing all those wild parties for Diddy and other grown celebs.
And nothing like this. Watch you benefited from it. Nick Cannon used to sleep on my couch.
Wow.
13 years old. He'd be in one part of the house. He'd like, can I, nigga, go back in there. You can't, fuck back in there. You can't come in here.
Now, what was up with these adult men inviting young male artists to live in their homes? It's like the same scenario with Diddy and Usher and the whole Puffy Flavor Camp situation.
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at.
So all these people who were part of Diddy's inner circle for years and attended countless parties are all staying silent, or they're being silenced. I mean, if the rumors about Diddy poisoning people who speak out are true, it's no wonder he managed to get away with all this depravity for so long. So yeah, this whole situation with Diddy's alleged celebrity accomplices is looking more and more like a Hollywood scandal waiting to explode. From celebs like Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Usher going radio silent to Ellen literally packing her bags and leaving the country, this is giving major deja vu vibes to the Epstein client list controversy. You know, when everyone thought the truth was finally coming out, but instead it got buried deeper than ever. So what's your take on this? Are these celebrities keeping quiet because they're guilty, or are they just trying to avoid getting caught up in the fallout? And do you think the rumored Diddy list will ever get exposed, or are we about to see another cover-up like Epstein's? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't miss out on this next video.